The West Burbridge Country Club had been my family's social headquarters for as long as I could remember. 18-hole championship golf course, Olympic-sized pool, tennis courts that hosted regional tournaments, and a dining room where business deals worth millions were negotiated over perfectly aged steaks. I'd grown up here in a way, attending debutante balls, anniversary celebrations, graduation parties, always as the overlooked younger daughter, the one who didn't quite fit the family mold. My sister Vanessa was everything our parents wanted. Ivy League educated, married to a corporate attorney, volunteer coordinator for 3 prestigious charities. She wore designer clothes like armor and knew exactly which wine to order with every course. I was the disappointment. I dropped out of college after 2 years, worked a series of concerning jobs, barista, retail manager, administrative assistant, and showed up to family events in clothes from Target instead of Neiman Marcus. Today, I'd made the mistake of arriving at the club for Sunday brunch wearing jeans, a casual blazer, and comfortable flats. My parents were already seated at their usual table on the terrace when I walked in. Dad saw me first, and his expression curdled like milk left in the sun. Absolutely not, he said loudly enough that nearby tables turned to look. You are not sitting with us dressed like that. I stopped a few feet from their table. Mom set down her mimosa and stared at me with open disapproval. Emma, what are you wearing? Clothes, I said simply. You invited me to brunch. I invited you assuming you'd dress appropriately. This is the West Bridge, not a shopping mall. Vanessa appeared from the direction of the ladies' room, immaculate in a cream-colored dress that probably cost more than my monthly rent used to. She saw me and actually stopped walking. Oh my God, she said. Emma, are you serious right now? About what? About showing up here looking like that. She gestured at my entire existence. This is a members-only club. There's a dress code. I'm aware, I said calmly. Dad stood up, his face reddening. At 62, Richard Hartley was still an imposing figure. 6'2", silver hair, the kind of commanding presence that came from 40 years of running a successful real estate firm. This is embarrassing, he announced. My daughter shows up to the West Burbridge Country Club in jeans and bargain bin clothes. Do you have any idea how this reflects on me? On this family? I'm wearing a blazer, I pointed out. A blazer from where? Walmart? Actually, yes. Mom made a sound like she'd been physically wounded. Emma Catherine Hartley, you will leave this club immediately and return when you're appropriately dressed. Or better yet, don't return at all. Several other families were watching now, including the Vandermeers, whose daughter had gone to prep school with Vanessa. I could see Mrs. Vandermeer whispering to her husband, probably relishing this display of family dysfunction. I was invited, I said quietly. You called me Thursday and specifically asked me to join you for Sunday brunch. I assumed you'd have the common sense to dress properly, Mom snapped. Clearly, I overestimated you again. Vanessa stepped closer, lowering her voice, but not enough. Emma, you're making a scene. Everyone's staring. Just go home, change, and maybe we can salvage this. I drove an hour to get here. Then you should have thought about that before leaving the house looking like a homeless person. That comparison hung in the air like poison gas. Leave, Dad ordered sharply. No, before you embarrass this family any further. I haven't done anything. Your presence is the embarrassment, Mom said coldly. Walking into the West Bridge dressed like you're going to clean houses, not have brunch. What will people think? That I'm your daughter? Not if I can help it. Mom's eyes were ice. We have a reputation here. Your father sits on the board. Vanessa is being considered for the social events committee. And you show up looking like this. It's disrespectful. I stood there absorbing the familiar sting of their disapproval. This wasn't new. I'd been the family disappointment since I dropped out of Duke 10 years ago, choosing work over a degree I hated. They never asked why I left, never wondered if I was okay, just decided I was a failure and treated me accordingly. I'll speak to the manager, Dad said, pulling out his phone. Have you escorted out if necessary? Dad, do not argue with me, he barked, his voice carrying across the terrace. You've humiliated this family enough for one day. He walked toward the main building, presumably to find someone in charge. Mom and Vanessa returned to their table, deliberately turning their backs to me as if I'd already ceased to exist. I could have left. Probably should have. Instead, I followed Dad inside. The club's main building was all marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and oil paintings of founding members from 1923. Dad was already at the concierge desk demanding to speak with management. There's a situation on the terrace, he was saying to a young woman in a crisp uniform. My daughter arrived inappropriately dressed and I need her removed from the premises. The concierge looked uncomfortable. Sir, if she's your guest, she's not my guest anymore. I'm revoking that invitation. She needs to leave immediately. Let me get the manager for you, Mr. Hartley. She disappeared through a door marked private, and Dad stood there radiating self-righteous anger. He didn't even look at me, just checked his Rolex and tapped his foot. A moment later, the concierge returned with someone I recognized, Patricia Odom, the club's general manager. Mid-40s, sharp-eyed, professional in a way that commanded respect. Mr. Hartley, Patricia said with practiced courtesy. How can I assist you? Dad pointed at me. That is my daughter. She arrived completely inappropriately for this club, jeans, cheap clothes, absolutely unacceptable. I want her removed. Patricia looked at me, then back at Dad. I see. And you're requesting we escort your daughter off the premises immediately? She's violating the dress code and embarrassing my family. I'm on the board, Patricia. You know how important appearances are here. Indeed, Patricia said evenly. And this is your formal request to have her removed? Yes. Get the owner if you need authorization. I want this handled now. Mom and Vanessa had followed us inside, probably to watch my humiliation firsthand. This is exactly why we stopped inviting you to family events, Emma, Mom said. Honestly, Vanessa added, it's like you try to embarrass us. Patricia held up a hand. One moment, please. She pulled out her radio. Security to the main lobby, please. And can someone locate Miss Hartley for me? Dad looked satisfied. Thank you. Standards must be maintained. Absolutely, Patricia agreed. Standards are extremely important. 2 security officers arrived, both in tailored suits. The West Bridge prided itself on discreet security. Wait here, please, Patricia said, then disappeared through another door. We stood in silence. Dad checked his phone. Mom examined her manicure. Vanessa scrolled through Instagram, probably already composing a message about her tragic sister. My heart pounded. Patricia returned 3 minutes later, but she wasn't alone. She was accompanied by Catherine Brennan, the club's director of operations, and behind them, my assistant, Jordan, carrying a leather portfolio. Mr. Hartley, Catherine said formally, I understand you've requested the owner's intervention regarding a dress code violation. Yes, Dad said.